You're fired!
Huh? Bye!
Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to Watch Mojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Am I the stories.
Relax. Take it easy, buddy. Tell me twice. You want me to go? All right.
Shame.
We hardly made a dent in that 10-foot hoagie.
Oh, give it a good hope.
For this list, we're looking at some of the most popular and or interesting stories from this subreddit where people post real-life situations gone wrong and tell their side of the story, and users judge whether the poster was in the wrong. Unfortunately, the overlords would prefer I not swear at you through this whole video, you impressionable young people. So, for the rest of the video, I will be using the acronym AITA. But we all know what I'm talking about, right? Right. All right, let's get into it. Number 10, AITA for switching to regular milk to prove my lactose-intolerant roommate keeps stealing from me. Having a difficult roommate can be a real pain.
I mean, that's just roommates 101.
This story involves a guy who suspected his roommate of stealing food from him, even though this roommate is particular about having anyone else eat his stuff.
Stop eating!
Another piece of bacon.
Guys!
It turns out his concerns were validated when he put regular milk in an almond milk container to see if his lactose-intolerant roommate would drink from it. The roommate fell for the trap, and it did a number on his digestive system. When his roommate called him out on it, this ended up proving the guy right.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal.
Users commented that it was alright since his roommate was stealing from him. So he got the answer to the question. Number 9, AITA for sleeping naked on top of the covers to teach my flatmate's girlfriend a lesson. We swear this video will not just be a list of roommate disputes.
I gotta tell you, man, I mean, that's it's kind of out of the blue. I mean, don't you think?
This is not out of the blue. This is smack dab in the middle of the blue.
That being said, these kinds of disputes make for good AITA stories. The poster of this story has a problem where the girlfriend of his flatmate has a bad habit of barging in without knocking. The poster repeatedly asked this girlfriend to start knocking, but she declined this request.
Don't you know how to knock, flemwad?
One morning, when the girlfriend barged in, she was greeted by the poster sleeping in his birthday suit with a full display of his package.
Yeah, you should learn to knock. What if I was indecent?
She and her boyfriend thought it was disgusting. However, the users agreed with the poster that he had the right to present himself this way in his own room. Number 8, AITA for suing my girlfriend after she had my 1967 Impala project taken to the scrapyard. A man's girlfriend moves in with him, but has a problem with his pet project, a 1967 Chevy Impala that he's trying to restore.
No rule, you steal my baby, you get punched.
While he's away on a business trip, the girlfriend has the car and all of its parts hauled off to a junkyard. When the man comes back, he discovers that everything's gone and loses it. He kicks the girlfriend out and decides to sue her.
I never want to see you again.
The girlfriend and her family are mad, so the man decides to ask Reddit whether he was right to react the way he did. He found overwhelming support from the Reddit users, and to reward them for their support, he kept them updated on his luck on finding the parts to his dream project. Number 7, WIBTA for refusing to stop cooking bacon in my kitchen due to my teenage daughter's vegan lifestyle. A middle-aged man is supportive of his teenage daughter who's become a vegan, buying her the pricier ingredients and her own cookware to accommodate. However, he starts to feel that his daughter is going too far with her new lifestyle when she insists that her parents stop eating meat entirely in their own house because the traces of meat from around the kitchen are contaminating everything else and making her, quote, sick.
I'm a level 5 vegan. I won't eat anything that casts a shadow.
His wife wants to go along with the request so they can all get along, but he puts his foot down.
God damn it! I hate it!
The users agreed with the man. And not only the meat eaters, but even vegans who were embarrassed by the daughter's demands. Number 6, AITA because I ate more than my share of a 6-foot party sub last night. Attending a small get-together, a self-described fat guy was distracted by a 6-foot party sub that was calling his name the whole night. Initially, he ate one serving, but then he ended up eating 3 more feet without asking the others because his hunger got the best of him.
2 more feet, and I can fit it in the fridge.
One of the partygoers then scolded him for eating 2/3 of a 6-foot sub because it was for all the guests, and it had been specially ordered from a friend's sub shop. Though he offered to order more food, the guests refused and the anger persisted the next day. While Reddit responded yes to the titular question, this story is unfortunately also an example of how food addiction can bring up more personal issues. Number 5. AITA for not wanting to pick up my wife from the airport at 12:30 a.m. A guy doesn't want to go pick up his wife from the airport really late at night, even though she specifically asked him to. His reason? He has a busy day of work ahead of him and needs to wake up really early the next morning. He hoped that Reddit would accept his justification and validate his decision. Sadly for him, they disagreed and labeled him the you-know-what.
I do think it's quite extreme.
Let us do the procession of shame now.
The Reddit users were able to shame the guy into going to the airport. Through an update, he let them know his wife had a horrible trip, and she was glad he came, showing that some good can come out of these stories. Number 4. AITA for telling cashier that wasn't the girl's credit card. This one might make you wonder about the people who post these kinds of stories seeking validation from strangers on the internet. While shopping at a department store, a woman overhears a teenage girl talking about using her dad's credit card for this particular shopping trip. When she ends up in line behind the girl, she decides to point out what she'd overheard to the cashier, accusing the girl of committing credit card fraud. This caused a scene in which the poor girl had to use a different card, her own, and she leaves the store in tears.
Stores are never nice to people, they're nice to credit cards.
When the woman brought her case to Reddit, users essentially told her to mind her own business. Number 3. AITA for punishing my son after he said something racist. When a family ordered food from a Chinese restaurant, a woman's 13-year-old son cracked an insensitive joke.
Stuart! That kind of talk is racist!
Unfortunately, the delivery man, who was of Asian ethnicity, overheard the joke, making the situation uncomfortable for all. As a result, the woman made her son write an apology note that he had to read aloud to the delivery man in the restaurant the next day. She also made him write a few short papers on Chinese culture and racism. The woman's husband thought this punishment was too harsh, causing the woman to question whether she had overreacted.
Well, maybe, we should change the subject.
However, Reddit thought it was a good teaching moment, so hopefully she felt vindicated. Number 2. AITA for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me. This is a story retail and service workers can relate to.
Uh-oh. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do, Mr. Floor Manager? Go get him, Tiger.
Tired of being yelled at by customers, a high school coffee shop employee worked out a plan with one of his shift managers. During said situation, the manager would come in asking the angry customer what the problem is, hear the problem, and then no matter how small the problem is, pretend to fire the coffee shop employee on the spot.
And just so you know, hot dog, if you do come back, this job won't be here for you.
I hope you're right.
I am right. You're fired!
The customer almost always dials the anger back in response, quickly deciding their minor problem is not worth getting someone fired over.
It's not his fault. It's mine. He tried to tell me, but I wouldn't listen.
While it is a dishonest deception, it does show that the customer isn't always necessarily right.
Is that true?
Reddit thought so too. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. AITA for very rarely, almost never wanting to go to restaurants because my girlfriend makes food that's just as good, if not better, than restaurant food? Well, the people have spoken. Not only is this guy the second A in AITA, he's also ungrateful and unappreciative.
Do you think I deserve a design award?
Just please get some salsa water.
A guy has a girlfriend who he claims has a great nose and knack for cooking. Her food is so good, he feels no need to go to restaurants, even when she wants to go. When date nights come up, he pushes her to cook for him instead, and calls her his private chef. Needless to say, this causes a strain on their relationship.
I was kidding! I was only kidding!
So the guy takes his case to the internet, and they were not forgiving. They pointed out how selfish the guy was and is, and as of the last update, not only had his girlfriend found out about the post, but the couple had also separated.
I cannot believe I wasted my prime reproductive years on you. I hope you have terrible karma and come back in the next life as a nasty little lizard and get stepped on by someone on a hike.
And there's since been no word on whether they ever got back together. So what's your favorite AITA story? Did you agree with the verdict? Do these stories make you as mad as they make me? Let us know in the comments, or come tell me on Twitter or Instagram @Rebecca Brayton, or on my YouTube channel. See ya!